Hello viewers out there, welcome again to the second lesson of my YouTube channel, Rediscover Your Touch. I want to urge you fans out there that this is a program I've embarked on in order to help students out there in the regards of making maths easy. And just as I promised you guys, we'll be continuing with our second aspect or our second lesson on rates, and we'll be taking examples from whence we stop. So today we'll be looking at another dimension of the examples we've taken so far. And if we could really remember, we tackled some aspects of our examples on rates and how we could really manipulate the standard conversions in order to answer our questions. So before we begin, I would like each and every one of you to take a minute of your time to subscribe to my YouTube channel, like this video and share as well to enhance lives or influence other lives out there that might be in need of this knowledge. So without wasting my time, we'll commence our lesson for today. So here are example and the rate for this lesson. We have a motorist covers a distance of 800 meters in 5 minutes, and we are being asked here to find his average speed in kilometers per hour. So per our discussion previously, you could remember that I always tackle to bring out the data out of the question, and then we do our usual business in solving the question in order to arrive at our answer. So without wasting my time, let's set sail and begin our lesson for today. Kudos. Alright, so per our example, we have a motorist covers a distance of 800 meters. So we have distance equals to 800 meters. And we also have time to be 5 minutes. So we have time 5 minutes. And we are being asked to find our average speed in kilometers per hour. So we have our average speed as AS in kilometers per hour. And for that matter, we will be asked to convert some of our units to the appropriate unit in order to get our average speed. I trust you really have more intuition about this knowledge. Alright, so let's see how it goes. Over here, we have our distance in 8 minutes, but here we are being asked to convert it to kilometers. And we also have our time in 5 minutes, and we are likely going to convert that 5 minutes into hours as well. So let's see how it goes. Tackling distance, we have per our standard conversion 1 kilometer. So solution, we have 1 kilometer equals to 1,000 meters, but we have 800 meters and we don't know its actual conversion in kilometers. So per our usual norm, we are really going to cross multiply. So we have it this way. So we have 800 times 1, which translates to give us 800, and then we have 1,000 times x, which gives us 1,000x. So we divide both sides by 1,000, and then we have 8 over 10, or we can also say x is equal to 8 over 10 or 0.8. I trust you get this. So we could add our kilometers to the new value here. And moving forward, we have our time as well that we need to convert. So we are going to convert our time as well in order to fall in line with the demand of the question as stated above. So we have 1 hour is to 60 minutes. So we have 1 hour gives us 60 minutes. And then we have 5 minutes. which gives us x. So we are still going to cross multiply to have our solution. So we are going to have 1 times 5 gives us 5, and then we have 60 times s, which gives us 60. So we are going to have our usual division, that's dividing both sides by 60 and reducing the fraction to get our time in house. So we have 5 goes in this of ones and goes into 60, 12. So therefore we are going to have our x is equal to 1 over 12. And we could add the unit to it, that is hours, right? Okay, so we can really change or substitute our new values into the formula of average speed. So we have average speed, I will still state it as AS is equal to distance over time or per time. So we have our distance or our new distance as 0.8 kilometers, or we could still stick to 8 over 10 kilometers. So we have 8 over 10, and then I'll translate the pair to division. And then we have our time also to be 1 over 12. And as we know, you can't divide a fraction by a fraction, so we need to change the division to multiplication. We maintain the left hand side, and then we translate or we reciprocate the right hand side. Easy does it. So we have 8 over 10 times 12 over 1, which is the same as 12, right? So from here we could go on to cancel whichever aspect of the numbers or the values that we can, and then we leave the rest as our answer. So we have 2 goes into 10 5 times and goes into 12 6 times. You see, so we have 8 over 5 times 6. 8 over 5 times 6. So we have 8 times 6 all over 5, which gives us 48 over 5. That gives us 48 over 5. So like I stated previously, we are not going to use or make use of calculator here. So we are going to have each of our calculations on the board. And I trust that will also help some of you out there to know how well you can really manipulate your long divisions. So we have 48 as our dividend and 5 as our divisor. So we ask ourselves that the multiples of 5, how closer it might come to 48. So we have 5 times 9, giving us 45. And then we subtract, we have 3, right? But 5 can't really divide the remainder because the remainder is smaller than the divisor. So we add a technique by creating a decimal point and introducing a 0 to our remainder and making it 30. I trust to get this, right? So we are going to ask ourselves the number of times 5 or the factor with which 5 could really divide 30, which is what? 6. So we have 30 here, and then 30 minus 30 gives us 0. So 8 times 6 over 5, or 48 over 5, gives us what? 9.6 kilometer per hour. 9.6 kilometer per hour. So therefore, our average speed is 9.6 kilometers per hour. And for that matter, we've been able to cover instances of these typical examples. So starting, we'll first have to realize which of the units we need to change in order to get our answer as suitable as possible. And for that matter, we'll be using our usual manipulations of the standard conversions in order to arrive at our unique answer. So if you really follow my lessons or my trends of thought so far, you realize that we've manipulated the distance to get our kilometer, and then we've also manipulated our time to get our hour, and then we finally substituted the new values into what? The formula for average speed. And for that matter, we've really arrived using the basic levels that we could ever have in math to attain our answer as 9.6 kilometers. I trust you really get this understanding more conducive. And for that matter, we'll actually be continuing with further examples in my next video sessions. And before we really draw curtains on our lessons thus far, I will still remind each and every one of you out there to subscribe to my YouTube channel and then like and share this video. And I trust we'll all be actually helping one another in making it to the core of our success. I wish you all the best and good luck to you all. Bye.